And welcome to the Dark Side of Soul podcast. This is Joe, and Sean will join us a little bit later. This is one of our video podcasts. Today, Sean and I will go to Paju, where he's developing his new premium tour. You know, Sean is really deep into the folklore of the Korean countryside, and so he's creating this really great, immersive, one-of-a-kind experience where you head out to this one region that is gorgeous, and we check out a very old Buddhist temple way back from the Goryeo period, so before the Joseon dynasty, before Seoul was the capital. And we also check out a country style restaurant, which is my favorite kind of restaurant, and it does meet our stamp of approval. Now, there are some other parts of the tour that aren't in the video, but I want you to get a taste of what you'd have in store if you took this with Sean. In the meantime, we also just get in the car and we talk about the state of tourism in Korea, things that are getting under our skin about tourism practices, what's being promoted and what people are going for, and how it's not really giving them the best impression of Korea. It's a rant. It's a rant. It's a big rant. But before we rant, let's eat.
Is research. This is as authentic as you can get. It's a beautiful rainy day. Loving it.
Fantastic.
Well, I hope we don't wash away down the mountain.
Hopefully the food's good.
Usually a sign, when you see a table like this, it's usually a good sign that the food's going to be good.
And that floor, show everyone the floor.
And the gravel floor is usually a great sign. Also, if we're by far the youngest people in the place.
And we are.
Yeah.
Which is getting harder and harder these days.
Yeah.
And these are the best types of places to come for food in the winter. Because they have stoves.
Also, there's no public transportation that goes here. You can only reach this place by vehicle, private vehicle, huh?
Technically, there are some ways to get here, but it's not easy. It takes a long time. If you were to come here from Seoul on public transportation, you're looking at more than 2 hours, easily 2 hours.
Okay.
Pretty deep in the countryside.
Yeah.
Of Paju.
Getting things started. We got boribap, little rice mixed with barley, which we're going to mix with some other stuff soon. We got ourselves a mung bean pancake. Nokdujeon looks nice and crispy. There's our doenjang chicken. You can tell that's country style. That's the swamp water right there. And then this looks like meat pork.
Kind of looks like
side dish.
Tapa? Like a
jjegbokum or something.
Yeah, jjegbokum.
Yeah. Let's see. We should be getting some more. And more. Samira. So we got some leaves for wrapping, including some steamed cabbage, shredded radish kimchi, radish cabbage kimchi, water kimchi, and then all the stuff to put into our rice bowls. Oh, and then we have sauce. We have sesame oil and gochujang. And is this pickled?
Perilla.
Is it perilla?
Perilla, sesame seeds.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. We're gonna eat. Enjoy, Sean.
Research.
All right, I'm gonna drive.
And I'll talk.
Oh, we can talk too. And I just
had a good lunch.
Yeah.
Research.
Had you saw we had a little boribap and mung bean pancake, nukdujon, and all this other stuffs.
Fantastic.
And it was a really lovely country restaurant. Any place that says there are two words, shigo or boribap, it's going to be good. This one has both.
Yeah, that's right. If it's together, it's even better. So shigo means the countryside. It's countryside, away from the city. Sometimes though you'll see the word shigo and it's actually like it's more like factories and stuff like that.
I might need you to. There we go. Are you in the camera? Are you in the shot?
Yeah, all right. That matters. But
we're doing a video, man.
No one wants to see me. So you might see the word shigo, which does mean countryside, but at the same time, a lot of places that do or are called shigo are more like what would you call them?
Just shigo in name only?
Yeah, I guess so. But one's up there.
This way?
Up the hill right there.
Oh, it says it right there. There's a big stone phallus right there. It says it.
So yeah, it's a perfect location there. So yeah, they're more like the shigo. Sometimes it's just places where this way.
Oh, this way.
Yeah. So there are small factories and stuff. Jushajan. But you can go this way as well. I think if we go to this.
This is a parking lot.
Yeah, but I think there's one farther up as well. I think it does go this way. We can go around. Look at that! Isn't it beautiful? The mountains there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Anyway, so the reason we're here is because I'm developing a new tour. We're really expanding the company and the tours that we offer. You're working on a new one too, right? Well,
yeah, I'm working on some more expanded food tours.
Right, and things like that. And so we are here today because the tour that I'm working on is around Paju, and Paju is one of Korea's hidden gems. When people go to Paju, they often just go to the DMZ. Where else? The book village.
Book village, Paju outlet.
Chilpandanji. Do people really go to the outlet?
I don't know if tourists do that.
Yeah, I hope not. There's nothing there. There's nothing.
Why would you travel halfway around the world to go to a Nike outlet?
Right. That doesn't make any sense. But then
oh man, am I one of those assholes that goes up a mountain while everyone else is like getting out of my way?
Yes.
Oh my god.
But there is a parking lot up here.
Okay, I just feel like I'm one of those. I hate it when I'm climbing a mountain and I have to dodge cars.
Well, they're walking on the road. There's a sidewalk over here, so they should be on the sidewalk.
Oh, okay, going.
So yeah, this way.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure. Oh, this goes to the left. Actually, that way was also fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, people go to places. They come to Paju and they go to places that aren't overly interesting. It's just there's so many other interesting things to visit. But the problem is really Paju doesn't have the infrastructure for tourism in terms of transportation. There's fairly bad transportation in Paju.
So we fixed that.
We're fixing it. We got vans.
We got vans.
Everyone.
We got van access.
Van access, and so we are enjoying the access to vans, which is allowing us to
be able to turn around here.
Which allows us to develop more tours like this that bring you to places.
No.
That bring you to places that otherwise is quite difficult.
Oh boy.
Joe's freaking out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get down. Alright. I got it. We'll see. Sean's only been in the car when I've had one accident.
Only once. Yeah.
My only accident ever.
Mm-hmm. And it was on my side too.
Yeah, he still wants to drive with me.
Well, that was her fault. It was kind of determined to be her fault, right?
50% her fault.
Come on.
That's 50%.
She didn't turn on her signal light.
She didn't turn her signal, but I shouldn't have. I should have shot out in the other lane.
Anyway, we didn't get T-boned, so it was all right. So yeah, so we're coming to these cool places. I'm developing this tour. The theme of this tour, just give some, I don't know, like a background when tours get developed. My background with tourism, the way it's developed is you choose a theme. So your tour focuses on something, and generally the way it's done is you create the theme and you can identify the theme in one, maybe two sentences at the most, and then you can have your topics, and then those all follow underneath. You can park anywhere here. Oh no. No. Okay. Well, okay, go down and then go back up the road over there. There is parking there.
All right. I'm just looking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking. We're not in a hurry. And these ladies that are in front of us, we're not in a hurry. Kinchana.
Yeah.
Are they running after us? Oh.
So yeah, that way.
Oh, go up this way?
Yeah. This is where we parked before. Yeah.
Oh, this is such a gorgeous area.
Yeah, it's beautiful here. Look at the water in the stream here. So this whole area, historic, dates back all the way to Goryeo. So the three main places I will be visiting on this new tour are Goryeo-era sites. So that was the dynasty that predated the Chosun dynasty. So the dynasty just before that.
So it predated Seoul itself.
As the capital, yeah. So
this is park right here.
Yeah. That's right. So there's a good hiking trail here as well. It's perfect. So, but we had to add a food component to the tour, and that's what we did. So we came to test the restaurant. I did find the one restaurant on the map, and then came today. So Joe's the food guy. Wanted to get his feedback on the food.
Emphasis on feed.
And it was good.
It was good. It was great. It was great food.
Matches the theme, countryside.
It's worth the price alone for the food.
That's right. So
my gosh, I mean, what the binde tasted like, notujan tasted like, it tasted like buttered corn or something like that. Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It was so good.
Very good. Very, very good. So I'm going to take Joe through. I'm just going to look around a little bit through a temple here. Maybe we'll show you some of the stuff here. That's one of the main temples that'll be on this tour.
Groovy. Yeah. So release the brake. Release the Kraken.
So now leaving the temple. The three major stops on my coming up tour.
So tell us what the three major stops are.
So this one, Bobongsa, dates back to the 9th century. Rebuilt and destroyed, of course, over time, and then whatnot. But a lot of heritage sites and protected tangible heritage here on the grounds. Another one is Yongamsa, temple with a lot of very interesting folklore. Very small temple, especially compared to this one. These grounds here. Temple grounds themselves are pretty average sized, but the property is quite big here.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And one of my favorite temple grounds in Korea, the forest that's just behind on the foothills of Angbubong. That's right. Yeah. Just gorgeous grounds there. I love it. I love the grounds here. And then there's then the other place is some ruins, some early 12th century ruins called Haemwanji, and I've added that to the tour as well. So I think you can go down. Well,
I was going to check this out.
Oh, okay. So those are the three major places. I am thinking of adding another spot. And that's still kind of up in the air. That might be a bonus spot that I'll just add to the tour while we're doing it, if we're making good time or something like that. So during the tour, people will come. We'll visit these three major places. I'll go to the main points of the sites, and I'll share folklore that's connected to the sites. And I will then give people the opportunity to just roam and wander, take photos, and enjoy the area on their own. So that's it. Those are the three sites.
So tell us what makes them so special.
Well, first of all, they're old.
Okay, old is good. Yeah. Okay,
so
old.
They're old. They're historic, and I think
older. What you're going to find in Seoul.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And especially Haemwanji, those are original grounds. So the whole focus of the tour, like I've already said, is visiting places in Paju that are significant, historic, a lot of link to folklore and traditions, and especially the theme is Buddhist lore.
And not just Paju, it's about Korea in general and how...
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah.
And it's just that Paju...
It just happens to be in Paju.
Yeah, and well, I did want to do Paju because Paju has so much to offer. Like I've said, it's this hidden gem of places that tourists just don't really visit because they're hard to get to. Public transportation can take ages, hours.
Yeah.
If you're very adventurous, I have had some people on the Dark Side tour who wanted to visit certain places and whatnot, and I'd let them know how to get there. And it is tough to get to some of these places, but it's always nicer to have a guide, right?
Right.
And who knows the location, can tell you a bit about things that are there.
And you can relax and not worry about how to get there.
That's right. We have the vans now, so you can sit in the van and just enjoy the drive. Also, a big, really, another point that I have in mind is to have people enjoy driving through the countryside.
The Korean countryside is where the heart of Korea is.
Yeah. It's really gorgeous.
Yeah. Seoul is not really Korea.
No.
In a way.
It's Korea, but I know what you mean. Like, there's...
The rest of Korea is not Seoul. Seoul is not the rest of Korea.
Yeah. So, it's modern Korea. And even places like Namdaemun Market and whatnot, like, they haven't really... That hasn't really been a deeply traditional market in, quite a long time.
No.
So...
tourist trap.
It's tourist trap. Yeah.
So that is our mission statement with our tour company in general. Is we keep you away from the tourist traps. We want to immerse you in Korean culture.
Fringe, the stuff that's not really as popular, and
punk rock
tourism. Punk rock tourism. Yeah. So that's it, and then it's got that restaurant that we were just at, which was good, and like that kind of gets back into the theme of the countryside.
It's a proper restaurant, even though most of our food was vegan, in fact. But that goes with the theme of the Buddhism. That's why I thought was kind of funny. They had like chicken and pork restaurants right outside of a temple.
Well, that's because it's connected to
the lay people.
The lay people and the mountains that are nearby. A lot of people will go up into the mountains and come back. So, the chicken's like pek soup, which is famously a very healthy Korean food.
It's a soup.
It's a soup, yeah. So
it's a soup with a chicken and sticks and twigs in it.
Yeah. So great. That's fine. I love it.
It's fine.
I know you're not a big fan.
No, it's fine. I'm just not going to spend $150 on a soup.
Well, it's not that much.
I've seen it that much.
Oh, well, you're being overcharged. Yeah. If anyone's charging you that much for pek soup, then you're being overcharged.
It must be some really fancy sticks and twigs.
Sorry, I just got distracted by there's a graveyard up here on the
oh God, he's seen a graveyard. That's like me with food. Oh
yeah. I smell a graveyard.
How dare you look at other graveyards when you're with me?
Talk better about yourself, Joe. All these abandoned buses. No one can see this here, but there's a bunch of abandoned buses on the side of the road. It's very strange. There's a depot back there. But anyway, so that's it. That's the real focus of this new tour. The wanting to do it, I had it in mind long before, not long before, but months before the pandemic. I was taking a Japanese friend of mine through this area here, and it struck me as like he wouldn't have seen it. Well, actually, he said, he's like, I would never have thought to come here. I never would have known. And he's been to Korea. Well, he lived in Korea. I met him in Korea 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So he used to live in Korea, and so he knows quite a bit. He speaks a bit of Korean. Mm-hmm. Like he said, he never would have known to come to visit these places. He wouldn't know how to get out here. And then I was like, tour. This should be. All of this is untapped.
That's how my first barbecue tour came about. Before I even started this company, was people visiting. They were fans of the food blog, and I kept taking them to these places, and they just love that place so much. And they said, "Why'd you do tours of these places?" Why don't I? Yeah.
Good idea.
But this is what it is. That's what makes us different from a lot of the other tours that are out there, especially the stuff you find on the top 10 of TripAdvisor. Is these are exclusive. You're not gonna.
Right.
I mean, if you meet other people at a party and they've been to Korea, they've all been to Nami Island. They've all been to Seoul Tower. Yeah. They've all looked at the styrofoam books over at the COEX library, Starfield Library. All these fake tourist attractions.
Yeah.
Created because Korea is so insecure that it has anything worthwhile. It has to create. It's basically Florida. It's just the world's largest ball of twine type of stuff. Right. Inventing fake stuff. Oh, it's like K-pop. Inventing fake stuff because they think foreigners will like it.
Yeah.
Or doing it for other Koreans, but yeah. So what we're doing is I'm so frustrated talking to others on the tours, and they like us because we go to places that you're not going to find other tourists. They're very immersive, and they've been so disappointed by some of these other tours that are so popular, including a lot of the DMZ tours and the Nami Island, Petit France, stuff like that.
Stuff you're traveling halfway around the world to see. I don't understand.
I don't get
the appeal of.
I don't get why. I mean, especially Americans. You got Six Flags. You got Disneyland. You got Disney World. Why do you want to go to Latte World?
Yeah.
I still haven't been to Latte World because it's just. I mean, if I came from a place with no theme parks, sure, Latte World. Other than that, it's kind of cheap compared to what you might be used to back home. So why do that?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, there are people who do travel the world to test out roller coasters.
Well, that's not.
But there's no real roller coaster. There's only one. Maybe two. Yeah.
It just feels like. But if the way it's promoted, it feels like, oh, you must do this. You must do this. And you know who's doing this? It's influencers doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And government and people just that they almost seemed ashamed of actual Korean culture.
Well, a lot of them are. I think I have mentioned on an episode in the past how I was involved in a big research project. That's over 10 years ago now, maybe 12 years ago, and with the mountains, and we had a big opening ceremony and everything down in Jirisan, and we had the opening ceremony in a mountain village, and there is a statue of a Sanchin, the Halmoni, the grandmother.
The mountain god.
Yeah, the Halme.
I remember. I listened to our podcast.
and it was all funded, almost entirely funded by tourism organizations. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to do the opening ceremony in front of the statue of the Sanchin Halme and of the deity. And so the people who were actually funding the whole thing, they just said, "Oh, no, we can't." It was on TV. They're like, "Oh, no, we can't do that. We can't have that on TV. People will see all this archaic nonsense."
No, let's do West Side Story style Taekwondo demonstrations to the tune of Britney Spears.
So, yeah, and then in the end, we were kind of arguing, but we're like, but this is what travelers will want to see. They're like, no, it's archaic. None of this kind of stuff.
We want new.
This is nonsense. So they wouldn't. They said, they were financing the whole thing, and so that was it. We didn't. We filmed elsewhere with some trees behind us, gorgeous trees, beautiful scenery in the back, but it would have been nice to show that human cultural point as well.
Yeah.
And then pan to the trees and whatnot. So there is some shame within authorities about, I don't know if it's shame so much as that
insecurity, I think.
Self-ridicule. They ridicule it. They think, for some reason, they think foreigners are not interested.
Or they're not interested in it. They're so used to it. I use the analogy of the fish in the pond, fish versus the ducks. The fish that were born in the pond, grew up in the pond, they know the pond very well, but they don't see what's special about it. In fact, they're not even aware they're inside of water. But the ducks go from pond to pond. And
you told us this before.
Yeah, I know, but nothing wrong saying it.
Yeah, no. I'm just remembering now that I remember what you said.
The ducks go from pond to pond, and they are able to see what makes that pond special. And so
so it's a little bit frustrating. So we purposely step outside of that mold of tourism because it's very limited. It doesn't actually attract numbers of people.
No, we are not mainstream.
Yeah, and
that's what makes us special,
right? And so and that's what all of our tours are pretty much like that. So we have with dark sides like that. Although, like you said, like the top 10 TripAdvisor stuff, like dark side's number one.
Well, I know we're okay. We're up there.
We're number one.
But you will find 10 different companies doing the same DMZ tour.
Yeah, right.
The same Nami Island Petit France tour.
Right. So,
and it's frustrating me how these are so popular while actual Korean stuff is neglected.
Yeah. And that's the key thing. Yeah. And that's really the goal for this particular tour. And I guess like a lot of the other tours that we already have, like of course Dark Side, Seoul Hike, and then Sunset, the two Seoul hikes, Historic Trail and Sunset Trail, the food tours, and stuff that you got coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm working on like a hard exclusive food tour where we combine with this is hard to find eateries, but I want something that has like every place has a great location and great food on top of that, and they got to be really hard to find. There's one place I tend to take people if they're willing to pile in the car with me and go there, and it's always been a hit. And I want to find more places like that. It's kind of like where we went on this tour.
good. And those places are always the best. And I often think this, and I'm pretty sure you and I talked about this before, and I've heard other food experts say that the best food in Korea is not in Seoul.
The farther you get away from Seoul, the better the food gets.
Right. Yeah.
Specifically Gangnam. The farther you get away from Gangnam, the better the food gets. Yeah. And the country style food is really, that's when things start clicking for me with Korean food. I was fine with Korean food before, but everything at the time, we're talking about 2004, the food, even Korean food has changed since then, but I think my feeling is what I've seen about the history of modernization of Korean food. I came in Korea during one of the dips, low points. And everything was just red and tasted the same. Now we have stuff with color and different flavors. But back then the panchan was just kimbap Cheongguk style panchan, but even in the more expensive places it was kimbap Cheongguk style. It's just everything was just seasoned exactly the same, and the same red paste, red powder, raw garlic, same flavors on everything. And when you get out into the country, you get some interesting flavors, new flavors. You actually can try new vegetables you never tried.
Yep, and the restaurants themselves look different. The interiors are different. They're more rustic. Yeah.
They follow the Korean aesthetic, which follows the path of nature.
That's right. Follows the landscape, and that's it's just so it's charming. They're extremely charming.
You don't find them much in Seoul.
No.
But that's what talking about. I mean, what are our biggest?
I want to go this way.
I'm going to go whatever way I want. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Fine. Gets talking about food and suddenly.
Yeah. But yeah, we kind of want to talk about what are, like, I'm just trying to think of the typical tourist traps people go to that really are just not, it just, you don't feel like you got a sense of Korea from. I mean, we mentioned Nami Island. Nami Island's our poster child. Petit France is really...
That's nonsense, yeah.
A fake rundown French village that serves spaghetti.
It's like it's fine for domestic tourism.
These are all designed for domestic tourism. Right. It's all designed for Koreans who want to feel like they're going to France, take their kids and pretend they're in France.
Yeah, for an afternoon. It's fine. And that's
but it's not for someone that comes in from Europe.
That's right. Yeah.
To go look at a fake concrete French village where the paint's all chipped.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I could list a few. Lotte World Tower is the one up there. And Seoul Tower, I don't know. I'm on the fence on that one.
It's nice to visit the Namsan, I think. If you want to just go for a little light hike.
I think just to see the view. We go to the Seoul Tower to see the view.
Yeah.
If you want to see the locks, that's okay. Yeah. I mean, some people really want to see the locks.
Yep.
That's a pop culture thing. I can get that.
Yeah.
Was it Alpaca Land? Alpaca World?
Right. Something like that.
Why did you go to Asia to see a South American animal? Why?
Yeah, there are a lot of places I think that are overrated.
They're over-promoted. I think they're over-promoted.
I think that's probably a better way to put it. They get way too much attention at the expense of other more cultural or deeply interesting things.
And that's what it is. And then people leave Korea with a very shallow, almost like cotton candy, as in like you don't taste it anymore.
Right.
Like some of them are just not even that impressed with Korea.
Yeah.
In fact, I was posing this question up on a few places, and some people are like, are there any tourist locations in Korea? Does it have anything? And some people are really skeptical and like, well, what are overrated tourist locations? Someone said Korea itself.
Yeah, but you get people like that. They're very bitter, and they don't see the value of it. But that's I think the Koreans do that themselves. They don't see the value of the country.
There's definitely that they're just a bunch of hicks. The mentality of like the hick bumpkin countryside area. It's not interesting. Why would foreigners want to see that? It's like, well, because that's where the real people are. So, no, like certain people are here specifically because they have a deep interest in the pop culture. That's happening now, and that's fine. That's fine. So they won't likely be as interested, maybe in initially in coming out to the countryside and doing a tour.
But I also think if you go to Name Island because you're a fan of Winter Sonata, you want to see the place that was iconic in that Korean drama, that's a good reason to go. Yeah, a lot of people, just to go because everyone else is going and I don't know what else to do in Korea, it's a waste of your day. Yeah. You're not going to be that impressed.
Right.
It's a cute little distraction, but it's not. You could put that anywhere in the world. There's nothing Korean about it. Yeah. It's about as Korean as a Legoland, which is also in that area.
You're right. I was going to say we got that too. Yeah, there's just so many things to see that are way better than the places that are popular.
And then there are things that you wouldn't think are Korean that are super Korean, like someone suggested baseball games.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, Korean sporting events. I've been to baseball, soccer, and hockey. I love Korean hockey.
Oh, really?
It's violent.
Really? I thought it was slow.
I used to go to the Anyang Hala games because I lived across the street from the rink. And it wasn't an Anyang Hala game until the referee is chipping blood off the ice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of hockey in Korea too, and I thought it was really it was really slow, slow paced, and it was kind of.
Oh, I've been to basketball games here too. Oh yeah. So I've been to a few sporting events here, and I find them kind of fun because it's a different vibe. There's actually cheerleading here.
I've been to sporting events here, but I can't compare it to anything. I'm just not big into sports, so I don't.
Oh yeah, but I've been to sports in the U.S., NFL, and MLB.
They don't have cheerleading?
Okay, NFL sort of does, but the fans don't really get into it as much as they do in Korea.
Okay.
They're not these special songs, team songs that you're singing.
Right.
And I love it I hear you can do it at the baseball one, but I haven't done that. But the soccer one, where you can actually get a table and get a pizza and you eat a whole freaking pizza while watching a game with a pitcher of beer in the stands.
The only game I've been to in Korea was in 2002 in the World Cup. I saw Team Korea play.
Yeah, and I think it's developed more since then. I think that was the beginnings of Korea's interest in sports ball.
And they had all kinds of they had the Daehaeminguk chant, and they had the Opus in Korea song, and Korea team fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, now we have like each team has their own songs, a series of songs that have a cheering section. They have like fan clubs that get everyone pumped up. There's that weird first pitch in the baseball games.
They do that
in America. You will get some local mayor or some dignitary that does a really bad pitch. In Korea, you're going to get a K-pop starlet that does some gymnastic flips. And lots of times, actually pitch the ball correctly.
It's part of their. Geez, look how fast the guys go. That's they learn how to pitch. It's part of their K-pop training.
Part of the K-pop training. But I'm trying to think some other like things that are off the radar that you might not think about.
I think the national parks are under-promoted, very much so. People will go to Bukhansan because It's the closest national park to Seoul, and even though influencers and even tourism sites, they will say, "Oh, it's in Seoul." Only a small part of the southern part of the park is in Seoul. Mm-hmm. Most of it's in Goyang and Wijeong. Mm-hmm. So it's not even in. So when I do my tours, we meet in Seoul, but we hike out of Seoul. Then we hike back in. So I tell everyone.
So bring your passport.
Bring your passport. So we tell everyone, or I tell everyone, it's okay. You're now not in the city. You've now left Seoul. So, but so the national parks, yeah, definitely terribly underrated, underpromoted. Some other places. And I still find Gyeongju is still underpromoted.
Yeah, Gyeongju is a lovely area.
Well, that's probably the most historically important city in Korea. The whole city is a fucking national park.
It's an open air museum.
Yeah, it's a national park. The whole thing is a national park. Mm. There's very few cities in the world where the city itself is a national park. So it's really difficult to build there. You dig in the ground, you have a good chance of finding something from the 7th century or whatever, when it was the capital, the late Shilla, before unified Shilla. Tombs there. There's Sokoram, of course, and so.
Yeah, it's Sokoram Grotto, which is a bit of a hike to get to, but it's worth it. You don't have to go up; you just go across.
Yeah, right. It just takes a bit to get there, but I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Well, there was a dead deer on the road there. Oof.
I never see deer here.
I see a lot of deer where I am. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I just saw a dead deer.
This.
What's this guy doing? Stopping right in the middle of the highway. Good job, buddy. Let's go back to get that deer.
Oh, that's what we did in Alabama. I told you that time I was driving for Domino's and I hit a deer. Really messed up my car, and I went back to headquarters and I said, yeah, I hit a deer. And one of the girls, she said her boyfriend wants to know where it is so he can get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's dead. And
it was fresh. It was still fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
Save some ammo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so our point is, like, you know, when you're coming to visit Korea, you know, do a little bit of research. You don't have to overdo it, but do be skeptical of what is considered mainstream tours. A lot of people have been disappointed. You know, like I keep saying, don't trust the Michelin guide. It's Koreans trying to guess what they're assuming what foreigners like based on stereotypes. And most people have been disappointed by Michelin-starred restaurants here.
Isn't the Michelin guide under a lot of criticism because of people paying for their stars?
Well, it's kind of hinted at this. People did.
I see.
Some people did. But still, much of the stuff on the list is pretty old. They're okay, but it's a lot of kalguksu. I never really got excited about. I like kalguksu, but man, I never really get so excited. About it.
Right.
And the same thing with a lot of the other big tour items. I would say, I mean, for DMZ, I mean, go with Jerry at AAA, or if you can't do that, do Corridor with a K, because they do the USO tour where you might be able to see the JSA. But most other times going to the DMZ, it's not really, there's nothing to see. It's woods. You see land, and you know, they try to make it all historic and stuff, but everything is it's just, I don't know.
again, it's very touristy.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't. People that didn't go on to the JSA tour, they've not been that impressed. The JSA is the part because you actually step into North Korea.
Right, you walk around the table.
And you see the North Korean guards.
Right.
And you see all the tension there. That's what's the good stuff. But no, the other one, the observatory where you go and you put money into a binoculars so you can see a village.
The propaganda town.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's not as good in my opinion. It's not as good. It's overrated. Nami Island is an artificial island that was created when a dam was built. And what they did was they just converted it into, like, there's lots of artwork there, folk art.
Yeah.
I mean, the most interesting thing I found there was someone had melted green soju bottles and turned that into artwork, and flowers and stuff. I found that interesting, but seriously, it's not worth spending a day traveling all the way down to Gangwon-do for that.
Yeah, and you do have to. You do really have to make it a day.
You have to make it a day.
Yeah.
You have to make it a day. If you got kids, maybe, okay. I would consider Nami-sam and Nami Island and Latte World if you got kids. Alpaca Land also, and Garden of the Gods. Is it Garden of the Gods? No, Garden of Morning Calm. Garden of the Gods is in Colorado.
Garden of Morning Calm.
Now, Garden of the Gods in Colorado is actually pretty darn cool. Yeah, those are fine if you have kids. There's lots of stuff for kids to do at Nami Island. But if you're an adult and you're not a fan of Korean Winter Sonata, the drama, and if you're looking for something that speaks of Korea while you're in Korea, yeah, skip Nami Island. Skip it. I've only once have gone to Nami Island out of my own volition, and that was to bring our daughter there for Children's Day, because it's a place to bring your children.
Domestic tourism, yeah. Right.
Yeah. There's only other times I've done it because I was doing TV shows. And it's nice for a walk, but it's just not worth using up a day of your trip here.
Right. Yeah, I've only been once, and it was... Wait, what did I? Was it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've been there, but I think I'm getting it mixed up with Walmido. I think it's Walmido.
Over in Incheon?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, no. And Gangwon Island I kind of like too, but it's hard to find.
Oh, Gangwon's beautiful.
Gangwon's great, but I haven't really organized anything there. I don't think anyone's really organized an experience for Gangwon Island.
Definitely,
which is near Seoul.
You could do, again, hiking. There's a lot of related to Manisan, the mountain there. Deeply rooted to Korean lore.
One of the episodes of Extraordinary Lawyer Woo takes place there.
Oh, yeah? What do they do there?
Oh, she spent much of her childhood there, and then it's the one about the three brothers.
Oh, okay, you were mentioning earlier. Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, we by IKEA? Anyway.
No, I don't think so. But anyway, Gangwon-do is beautiful. So Manisan, deeply connected to
Soraksan Mountain is also excellent, I think.
Soraksan?
Yeah.
Soraksan National Park?
Yeah. Those are serious mountains. If this is your first time hiking a mountain in Asia, it feels like an Asian mountain, in my opinion.
Yeah, those Ak mountains.
Yeah.
And then but there are other ones as well. Like Soraksan is, of course, famous, beautiful mountain, great national park, super crowded. So if you want...
Yeah, especially during the autumn time.
Right, and if you want a mountain, especially a mountain park that is similar but not nearly as crowded, you can go to Chiaksan. It's like a smaller version of Soraksan.
Yeah. I mean, Soroksan is so crowded, you have to stand in line to climb it. Physically.
No thanks. I'm fine. I'm good. I'll pass.
Yeah.
So, but definitely beautiful. And if you're going to go to the East Coast, if you're going to go to Sokcho, then you may as well just go to Soroksan, because there's a cable car as well.
Yeah, that's where I would go.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're just there for views, I dislike cable cars. I think the heavens have no handrails, or at least they shouldn't. But it's there anyway. It's being used, so if you want to get up there and have a look, you can take the easy way out, or you can go for, if you're into hiking, there are good routes there as well.
Yeah.
Really hardcore.
Yeah, I like hiking. I liked hiking back when I had knees.
Now you got pudding.
Now they hurt. So anyway, these are our suggestions. So check us out more over at darksideofseoul.com, zenkimchi.com. We're consolidating all our tours there. And check out the new exciting experiences we're creating to share why we love this place so much. Until next time, stay spooky.
Okay.